On the 8th of March every year, the world marks International Women's Day. This year, the environmental rights activist Friends of the Earth Nigeria beamed its searchlight on public health as it relates to Nigerian women and their exposure to tobacco. Women in low and middle-income countries are a prime target for the tobacco industry. Smoking rates among this group are still low compared with rates of smoking among men, but aggressively targeted marketing aims to increase this figure. Faced with the advancement of global tobacco control policy, the tobacco industry is fighting on all fronts to safeguard the future of its business, as consumers women from low and middle-income countries like Nigeria offer increasingly rare market opportunities in countries where public health policy is not yet strong enough to protect them. Oluchi Joy Robert is a project coordinator for the environmental rights activist Friends of the Earth Nigeria.
Tobacco is more harmful to women, like I mentioned earlier, because of their physiological features. So let's take, for instance, tobacco delays conception. And even in cases where there is conception, we have issues of low birth weight for the baby. We have issues of decrease in breast milk for lactating mothers. We have issues of different kinds of cancer that men can't even suffer from, but women will. Talk about cervical cancer, colon cancer, vulvar cancer, different types of cancer. So women are at higher risk of the negative effect of tobacco more than men. That the enforcement of the Nigerian Tobacco Control Regulations and the Nigerian Tobacco Control Act should commence immediately. There should be no further delay, especially with the ban on sale in single sticks, with the ban of sale to minor, and the pictorial health warnings. Also, to add to that, in the 2020 budget, there was no provision for tobacco control funding. So we are saying that a funding mechanism should be put in place for effective tobacco control activities to take off.
With millions of lives ruined by cancer and heart disease, we are now seeing the legacy of unfettered tobacco industry marketing that targets women. The industry's compelling message to women associates smoking with glamour, independence, and being slim through high-end advertising and packaging similar to that used to sell beauty products. Adirunke Ige is a legal practitioner with environmental rights activist Friends of the Earth Nigeria.
When you look at the issue of tobacco and smoking generally, and some habits that never used to be, but suddenly they're everywhere. You look at the last statistics of WHO, when you look at the number of women that are smokers in society, you realize it's a whopping 250 million. That is a cause for alarm. And then, when you're also looking at the campaign that we have so far been carrying on, that has been massive, but which we can still do more with, and which is also making us call for tobacco control generally, even the fund that should be channeled into it. You look at the issue of women being passive smokers. In other words, if smoking is not controlled, it wouldn't matter that women are not even active smokers. You realize that by inhaling secondhand smoke as passive smokers, you are even doing danger. So, for instance, you look at the issue of fertility, you look at the issue of health and well-being, the issue of lung diseases, liver diseases, and so on, and the injury that this is doing to our women. We think it's a big issue. And when you look at death rate in the world now, the death that is attributable or that accrues to tobacco smoking or smoking itself alone of any kind of substance, it's now so high. You are looking at about 19% of total death rate globally being attributable to smoking. So we think this is a huge phenomenon that is really negative, and we have to begin to do something about it. Otherwise, it's just a slow death, and we think that we are doing well. Meanwhile, we are not really doing well. So it's something we have to pay attention to.
According to this public health expert at ERA and Friends of the Earth, the negative impact of smoking on health is well known, but the increasing rate of smoking among the youth, including females, is noteworthy. Given the tobacco industry's aggressive and wide-ranging efforts to target women, International Women's Day is a good time to restate strong commitment to taking equal and opposite action.